Welcome, heroes, villains, and morally questionable weirdos, to the season finale of Canon Clash. A very, very special episode, this one, because it is two contestants, as you can see. Two contestants that are not content creators. They are my parents. Hello, welcome to the show. I'm very glad to have you on. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, I'm hearing an echo, but I think it's because I've got Twitch open.
Oh yeah, if you have Twitch open, I would mute it. I would mute Twitch if you have that open, or you're gonna get feedback on my end.
Is this the internet?
Bottom.
Are we on the internet?
You know, barely.
Okay.
Barely. You're on my very, very, very tiny corner that I have fought and claimed for myself.
What TV channel is this?
You can find me at Sir Superhero on Twitch and TikTok.
What's Twitch?
Be sure to catch our other show, D and Dorks, on Friday nights.
We are thrilled to be here, Matthew. Let's go.
Yes, it is going to be very, very, very fun. A little bit of background as to my parents' experience with comic books in general. Very little, essentially. Neither of you have any experience with comics, but because of me, I got you both into MCU stuff. So they still watch the MCU things. Mother, I know you don't watch all of them because you don't like the fighting and stuff. But Dad, like, I know you're watching Secret Invasion. They still watch the stuff, even though I have, long moved out, so I got them hooked on all of it. But
we're flying the colors.
They don't know the comics.
I have a Captain America shirt, and it's actually a special one because the Captain America shield is a record. It's a disc, and you can see the little record arm like an old-timey record, and that's because I used to be a DJ, and Tracy and Matthew got that for me, so thanks.
I'm glad I did the little radio announcer voice at the beginning. Now you know where that came from. Also, Mom, I think you muted yourself.
I keep hearing an echo.
There you are.
You gotta mute me. You gotta mute me on Twitch.
I just closed it out.
If it's a problem, just that also works. Whatever works.
But then I can't say hi to everybody. I mean, I can, but anyway. Hey, so
if you want to open Twitch,
comics.
Bottom left of the screen. You've read two comics? My comics, I assume. My comics, yes. Actually, some of those, at least one of those, is very, very hidden. Not a lot of people have seen it. Cat interruption.
I have extra help. Penny's going to help me.
And Rusty is sleeping over there. He will be of no help. Oh, but look who I have. I have my snowman Cap. He's going to bring lots of good luck.
We didn't introduce ourselves.
As you can see, big Captain America fans, everybody. But yes, if you want to introduce yourselves, and then I have a little bit of a spiel first. But I actually have you inverted as to what I'm seeing on Skype on the interface. So, Mom, if you want to introduce yourself first, and then Dad can do it, and then we can get into the rules.
Well, I'm Sir Superhero's mom, or Marvel mom.
She sounds annoying.
Yeah, and I'm excited to be here, and I'm really hoping that I don't embarrass myself. And yeah, I don't know. What else am I supposed to say?
Your name.
I'm Tracy. My name is Tracy.
Yeah, I have you on the interface as mother and father because I didn't know what you wanted. I was typing it up 20 minutes ago and I realized I have no idea what you wanted me to say on that one. So I just wrote it in as that.
It would be weird
Tracy
if you
also
Tracy.
works.
So yes, you can.
That is true. That is true. The bit is that you're my parents, so we got to lean into it as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then Dad, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Dad. My name's Kevin, and I'm Sir Superhero's dad, and I'm raring to go on this program. Let's rock and roll.
Now, I'm going to say one more thing first, something that I've talked about on streams before. I think, chat, that a lot of the audience is already going to be rooting for Mom. Sorry, Dad, to hear that, but there's two reasons. Number one, Mom shows up in chat a lot. Well, here's the other thing. We do an after show for my Dungeons and Dragons program, and I believe one of the after shows one time, we were talking about just random stuff, and I did mention that you have your breakfast cereal with water, and it made you a bunch of enemies.
Me?
Oh, yeah. People in chat very much hate that you do that, and so I think you're the nemesis of this chat now.
All enemies? Listen up, I can't drink milk, and I don't do it in water. I just have it dry anymore. So there. Yeah.
You know what?
Good. I said. I don't know if he still does that, but that's good. People in chat are already saying Kevin of the evil cereal. So I'm so glad that you've turned around on this.
More.
Wow. Oh. That's so cute.
But Dad had the cat first, so I think it balances out. I think it balances out.
Tracy, can you push your door closed a little bit? It's echoing down the hall.
It is pretty much closed.
Oh yeah, if there's any echoes or audio issues,
no, let me know in
chat, and I'll
try to. It's just. It's.
I can hear you down the hall.
I can hear you too. But I put in my deals, so you've got yours in too.
Penny walking across the screen. So let me go over the rules of how this is going to work. It is going to be slightly different for this episode, but mostly just streamlined. Okay. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to present you with the name of a character and a little blurb of info about them. From there on, your goal is to tell me whether the character is a real one that has appeared in real, actual published comics, or a fake one that I just made up. Now, that's basically all the rules that we have for this one. I am not doing the hint system for this episode for two reasons. Number one, it is more streamlined for 3 people, and also it's things about like eras of comics and stuff, things like pop culture vibes that I don't think would be as helpful for you guys. So if you want to know some information about like publication of the characters, ask and I'll give it to you if you think it would be helpful, but I don't have that built in just to streamline things for this one. I don't think it's needed. The second minor change is I did keep this episode to Marvel. So this is Marvel episode, the Marvel one. It is not Marvel and DC, because I know that's what you're more experienced with because of me, as everyone can probably tell from my background.
We're experts on Marvel. See, there you go.
Exactly. I'm not wearing a Marvel shirt, so just don't look at me not wearing a Marvel shirt. It's probably fine. But for this episode, since this is a special one with you guys here, and I get to do some special things for that, I have changed a few things around. Usually there are 20 questions. There are a few less in this episode because there are bonus rounds. There are little special challenge things, and we're actually going to start off with one of those. So something that I usually do at the beginning of these episodes is I ask people to rank their current comics knowledge on a scale from 1 to 10, and I decided that I wanted to do that a little bit differently this time. So we're going to start off with something that I'm calling the MCU challenge. Very creative name. One at a time. We'll have to figure out like how you can, get to a place where you don't hear each other's answers. Maybe one of you can go outside briefly and I'll text you or something. Whoever can name the most MCU movies and TV shows gets a point right off the start.
Oh goodness. Yeah. Okay, so this is Marvel stuff. You said comics. Marvel.
Yes, everything in this is Marvel related. I mean, some of them are going to be made up, but the intent is that they're all Marvel
I am
things.
So nervous. I'm going to embarrass myself.
Is that in 10 seconds or 20 seconds or what?
I don't actually have like a set timer on all of these because, it's a bunch of content creators. So like the deliberation over the questions is a fun part, and it gets to a lot of really ridiculous situations. Like in last episode, someone was Googling when Chernobyl happened because that was a piece of information that they wanted to know to guess. So you were free to deliberate as much as you want.
Anything Marvel. Okay. Yep. Well, I'll take my AirPods out and just wave or something when you want me to put them back in.
That works. Okay, so I'm going to get a counter up on my phone.
I used to be able to name 35.
Oh, you might have to close the door.
No. This isn't. That's the thing. This isn't characters. This is MCU movies and TV shows. However many of those you can name.
Oh well, I'll fail at that. Hold on.
We'll see. Everyone's saying go change shirts in chat. I'm not gonna go change shirts. I have a Captain America shirt. I don't think it's clean.
You don't think what?
You agreed because you love your son and you want to help him make money on the internet by doing stupid things on camera.
Well. There is that.
All right. I've got my counter up. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and start.
To me?
Yeah, go ahead. Dad already took his AirPods out. Just start naming MCU stuff. Whoever names more gets the first point.
So there's like Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk, just like characters?
No, movies and TV shows.
Why isn't Dad going first? I hate this. Movies and TV shows. Like Spider-Man doesn't count. Like I have to know the name of this Spider-Man movie.
There are 10. The Spider-Man movies specifically do have names.
1, 2, and 3. Okay, so there's Spider-Man: Homecoming.
There you go. That's one.
You
see, perfect. That's one of the harder ones. That's one of the ones that have subtitles. Not all of them do.
Civil
start.
War. Isn't that one of the
Captain America: Civil War. I'll count that. Yeah, not a TV show, but I'll count it.
Okay. Gosh, this is going to be like 2 hours because can you go to Dad and come back?
Hey, it's the season finale.
Okay. It's hard to know the names of them. Like,
I'll give you a little hint. A lot of them don't necessarily have names. Like Spider-Man: Homecoming and Captain America: Civil War. Those are the exceptions.
Shang-Chi,
a lot of them are just
am
characters.
I saying that right?
Yes, that counts.
Okay.
That's 3.
There's the woman with the black hair. She's sitting right here on my desk, and I cannot think of her name to save my soul. Can I hold up her little figure?
I know what you're thinking of Peggy Carter.
No, I'm not.
Which is,
no, I'm not.
You're not. I thought you were thinking of Agent Carter. Okay, in that case,
this is the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, that's from Shang-Chi. You already got that one.
Oh, well, then that's not who I was thinking of. I was thinking of the guy.
Maybe I should have put a timer.
Oh my gosh, just go to Dad. I'm just an epic fail.
No, I just think of characters. Just think of characters that you know.
Well, I really should have prepped for this. I kind of started.
To be fair, everyone in chat, I did tell them not to prep and refused to give any hints. This is an authentic experience. My parents are not getting any level of advantage.
I know. Here. So see, Dad is probably right now. He is probably Googling the answers.
Oh, accusing your husband of cheating 10 minutes into the episode.
Okay, so Incredible Hulk, but
Hulk does count.
Okay,
yes.
But I already got that one.
No, that's 4.
So Hulk and Spider-Man and I don't know. Just go to Dad. I don't know. Is this when we tell him I'm sick and I'm faking this?
I told you we could delay. All right, we'll move over
Black Panther.
and maybe. Oh, okay, that's 5. That's 5. That's 5. You want to keep going? You're doing good.
No, Dad's gonna know all these shows because I didn't watch all these shows because some of them were just really. Hawkeye.
Hawkeye counts, yes.
I'm trying to think. All right, well, you can go. That's enough. That we do have a life, right? We have a life.
I mean, yeah, this is how I make money. I'm getting paid to be
here.
Your
people are going to hate me if we take too long. Just go to Dad.
They are not at all, but all right, if you insist, we will move over to Dad and see how he does.
So now I take mine out. I did horrible.
Well, you don't have to because you went first. It's up to you.
Okay, so I just name anything Marvel?
Marvel movies and TV shows. MCU movies and TV shows specifically. Technically, there's a distinction, but I don't think it's going to matter.
And just keep going till I'm run out, or is there a time?
Go for it.
Okay, well.
If it goes too long, we'll move on, but just go for it. This is a very loose format show.
I just thought of one. Am I allowed to say that?
No, you can say it after.
Okay, it may not be the right title.
Good faith. On good faith.
Okay.
All right, Dad, you ready?
Okay.
I got my counter.
All right. Captain Marvel.
1.
Captain America.
2.
Peggy Carter.
Agent Carter, I will count. It is of debatable MCU status technically, but I'll be nice and I'll count it.
What?
3. Don't get.
Thor.
It's a whole rabbit hole.
Okay. Thor.
Thor.
Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok.
Nick Fury.
Technically not the name of it.
What do you mean? Oh, that has to be the name of a movie?
Movies or shows.
Oh, I thought it was just things in those shows.
Not movies or shows. Like Thor and Thor Ragnarok count as 2 separate ones.
Okay.
If I did not make this premise clear, I'm sorry.
No, I thought it was things before I left, so I was thinking of different things. Well, then that's harder.
I know, and I had to go first.
You've done good so far.
Yeah, Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. That's, yeah.
That's a Star Wars thing. Civil War.
Civil War.
Yeah. What was her Black Widow?
Black Widow.
Yep. Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3.
Does WandaVision count?
WandaVision.
Okay. She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Oh, Tracy, by the way, there's an assembled for Quantumania now.
Now, does that count? Now, you've caught me off guard here. Does the behind-the-scenes MCU series count?
100%.
Well, you're already winning, so sure. You know what? I'll count it. 14.
Okay. Wells, and then there's
14.
Oh, there's Hawkeye. And the assembled for Hawkeye.
No, assembled's gonna count as one. I'll give you assembled, but it counts as one.
They're individual shows. And so as not to bog down the show, I think that's it.
All right.
Totally
15.
15.
I do just have to point out, neither of you said a single Avengers movie.
And
I did Civil War.
That is technically a Captain America movie. Weirdly. Yeah, Avengers, Age of Ultron, Infinity War,
and
Endgame.
Mysterio? Those are two that I thought of.
Ant-Man, yes, Mysterio is the second Spider-Man movie. All right, though, that is the first point of this episode. I will go ahead and put that. Yay. That's my camera sources, not my scores. But hey, that is like the first of like 20 points. So there is plenty more time.
That was fun. Are we done?
Yeah, that was pretty much the show. I mean, you know, we got good views.
Good night, everyone.
Everything went pretty well. But now we get into the actual fun stuff. Not that that wasn't fun, but the usual fun stuff, I suppose I should have said. This is the format I described earlier. I'm going to give you a character, and you're going to tell me whether you think this character is real or something I made up. One last thing before we start. People have made jokes, especially people from my D&D group, about trying to psychoanalyze me and see if the concept was the type of thing that I as a person would write. And I'm very curious to see if my parents are going to be good at that. So let's get the ball rolling with Ultron 15. So Ultron has had many iterations over the decades, not just one like in the MCU, and always managing to come back in some form after being dismantled by the Avengers, and usually just having a new number designation, like a new iPhone, basically, every time he does. Wait, excuse me, I was reading the wrong thing. After being dismantled by the Avengers, he always manages to come back. Some of his forms are stranger than others, though, and Ultron 15 is a great example of that. See, Ultron 15 is his official name, but fans have a different name for this specific iteration of the villain, Jazz Ultron. This Ultron, for some reason, was rebuilt with the ability to feel human emotions and felt horrible guilt for what he had done, leading him to do things like hang out in New Orleans jazz clubs, moping in the corner, and feeling sorry for himself. What do we think about Ultron 15? Is this a real character that Marvel actually published, or something that I made up? You can deliberate for as long as you want, and when you are ready to vote, or Dad's ready to vote immediately.
I stuck with what I was going to say.
Okay, well that works out. For note, I will have you vote at the same time.
Okay.
But we can just go ahead and start if you guys are confident about that. Dad says Ultron 15 is fake. Mom thinks that Ultron 15 is real. And Mom, I am happy to say, you have immediately tied it up. Ultron 15 is 100% real. He wears a hat and a trench coat over his metal body and is just as weird and disjointed from the rest of the Ultron iterations as you would expect.
Wow.
He is very apologetic towards Vision for making him and being very sad about it. It's a whole thing. But I knew that Dad...
I went back and forth. I ultimately chose wrong, but that was a close one for me.
You know, I put this one in because I knew that you liked jazz music, Dad, and I knew that you knew that I knew you liked jazz music, and I was like, I'm going to do some triple reverse psychology here.
I was actually thinking about that too.
Ha! Well, it worked out.
Okay.
Let me give Mother her first point.
Yay.
And we'll go ahead and move on to the second one. This is one, this is one that I either selected or made more for Mom, because I selected it, or the first one for Dad, and then we got this next one. This one is Little Monster. Little Monster is a fused being, a combination of two other characters created by two very unlikely halves, the Hulk and Ant-Man. His name is Scott Banner, and he was a scientist working with both Pym particles and gamma radiation, which gave him the powers of both Ant-Man and Hulk, in a way. See, he is like a Hulk in that he turns into a monster that gets stronger the angrier he is, but he also gets smaller the angrier he is, to such a point that one time he shrank down so much that he went inside of a guy and cured him of a disease by simply punching the virus to death. Now, as I said, you guys can deliberate. When you are both ready, let me know and I'll have you vote at the same time. Since we're not doing the hint system, like, if you have questions about, like, when or where this character showed up in a comic or something like that, or anything about, like, their appearance, maybe, you can ask me that if you would like. Don't know how much it'll necessarily help, but I'm just going to make that sort of a blanket option that is available to you.
What year was it?
What year was it? Let me either make something up while typing fake things on a computer, or look up the actual information for you. I have fully prepared myself to do that little fake out here. So, according to the information, be it real or fake, Little Monster debuted in 2018. Fairly recent in the grand scheme of comics.
Is anyone still watching us?
There are still, according to my same amount of viewers as last time, so no one's left.
Well,
We're all good.
Something. Okay.
Thank you, viewers.
Thank you for...
Yes, thank you everyone for being here.
Oh my gosh, because this is just like, wow.
You guys ready to vote, or you want to debate on Little Monster a little bit more?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right. If both of you are ready, then 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so is that that's the same pattern that we had last time. Dad says fake, Mom says that Little Monster is real, and once again, Mom, Little Monster is real. He's basically just Tiny Hulk in Ant-Man pants.
Tiny
one of my
Hulk
favorite
in
series,
Ant-Man
actually.
Pants.
I mean, look at the
question
picture, Tiny
of
Hulk and Ant-Man
the question
pants.
of the year threw me off. I thought that would have been like a 1950s or 1960s thing.
Yeah, and some of the vibes of like 60s as opposed to modern comics are very much a thing that people try to guess off of.
Right.
This was very much a not serious book, as you can probably expect. The whole gimmick was these like two characters get fused together into one, and it was absolutely wild. One of my favorite series of recent years, actually. It was insane, and Little Monster is one of the weirder concepts to come out of that. So let me scroll down.
I don't know
on
how
my
you
sheet
remember all
here
this
to the
stuff,
next one.
Matthew. Like,
Yeah, really.
wow.
To be fair, I am reading off a script. I don't have all this stuff on
No,
hand.
I just mean all these characters in general. It's like, wow. But you've always done that.
That's okay.
My brain is full of lore and nothing else.
After we do a couple more questions, we'll take a Matthew when he was a baby story.
I can go get more pictures.
All right. Well, we have actually. Well, you'll probably want to after I do some of the bonus things that we have set up later. So, I'll accept the fate that I set up for myself. Meanwhile, are we ready to go on to question
We're ready.
3?
Next
All right.
one.
Question 3 is the Crabton. And yes, I don't know if you guys are watching the Twitch stream, but it is like Captain, but crab in there. So, illegal dumping of radioactive waste is a very bad thing to do, but hey, as the Crabton proves, sometimes it can make very weird superheroes. The Crabton was born when some smugglers attempted to evade discovery by dumping radioactive liquid vibranium off their boat into the ocean, and it dripped down and landed on a crab. The vibranium's magical properties, yes, vibranium is magic, mutated the creature, giving it super intelligence and making his shell essentially indestructible. The crab then witnessed Captain America taking down the smugglers and was inspired, painting his indestructible shell like Cap's shield and becoming a noble, if tiny, defender of the beach. Tiny little crab Captain America with an indestructible shell. What are we thinking about the Crabton?
I had an opinion right from the beginning.
Right from the beginning, all right.
And then the bit about the beach reinforced it.
Okay. What are you thinking, Mom?
I just had flashbacks
second,
to the first time that you told me they were going to make a movie about this guy called Ant-Man. And you were so young, and I was like, you're making this up. And I love Ant-Man, even though I forgot it.
And now it's a concept that I turned into a show. I will say, this is not something that applies as much to this question, but there are a few questions later in this episode that are characters that are like slightly more known in the public eye, but like that are way weirder. They're weird enough to be on the show, but too popular to be used most cases. So I was like, I get to put in some of those kind because you don't have a frame of reference. But Are you ready
Yes.
to vote on
Yes.
the Crabton? All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, both of you say that the Crabton is real, and I have mixed emotions to say that I have now officially successfully lied to both my parents. Crabton is not real.
Wow.
I thought he was a funny little guy that I made up.
You
For
have such
sure, I had
imagination.
heard that name before. When you said crab, I thought, I've heard that before.
I hadn't heard it. I just thought, I don't know. I was just like, I didn't think you would make that up.
Hey, my goal is to trick people, and also,
Lie to us.
well, I'm sorry. The premise of the show will involve at least a few more lies as time goes on. But no points on Crabton. I'm happy that I got at least one double trick. I feel like I had to do that. So, with one double trick in the barrel, are we ready to go on to the next question?
Okay.
All right, now some people might have been confused because I accidentally opened up the stream to this question. I didn't reveal the answer, but this question was on the screen when I put it on. But
sorry,
the next one is very simply named Kermit. Kermit is a very strange creature, a sort of moss-like demon monster that was used as a guardian of a magical portal to another dimension. Now, Kermit, most of the time, was pretty content to just stay in its cave and not really do anything, unless some magical ne'er-do-wells tried to make their way into the portal. But then, eventually, their life changed a little bit when a certain questionable hero entered the cave and, in a very foolhardy decision, ate some of the magic moss that was surrounding the portal. At this point, Kermit, now inside the hero's body, just kind of decided to go with it and become the hero's sort of sidekick and friend that they could summon at will. Kermit, the moss guardian that got eaten by a hero. What are we thinking about Kermit? Simple name, not a very simple premise.
All of these are
Yeah.
just crazy.
Well, I have a thought,
Yep,
but it
that's
kind
the
of
show.
reveals my answer, so I guess I should wait.
If you want to save it, are you ready to vote then, Mom? I'm assuming Dad is, if Dad has an answer. Thinking hard, which is good. That's what we like to
I
see.
don't know.
Good. Good.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, if you're ready, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Dad says fake, Mom says real. That's a pattern that we've seen for most of these, but this time
Dad wins.
Dad gets it. Kermit is not real. Kind of. This is a character from my D&D campaign.
Oh, no kidding.
I wanted to throw in
I
a
don't
little
listen.
trick there. This is a character from season, I believe, 2 of Symmetry, of the campaign that just wrapped up a while
If you
ago.
said glib, I would have known that.
Chat's about chat is about to detonate that you just acknowledge Glib's existence.
Do I get a point for that?
I'm gonna watch the chat for a second. They're going to explode.
Bonus
Oh, people are saying
point
season
for
1 was in
me.
Kermit. Heck if I know. Yeah, yep, there it is. But yes, I know, Mom, you've said many times you don't watch the show regularly because Panda swears too much.
I always
But
have it up.
You have it open in the back. Yeah, you have it open in the
But
background because you like being supportive.
Right.
Panda.
But Panda, I mean, I know you like him and he is great. It's just that I just turn the volume down. Plus, they go on for so long. But yeah, I do have
They
it
are
up
very
in the
long.
background.
I said fake simply because Kermit in that context was too close to Kermit the Frog.
That is actually why the Kermit was named that. It was just an unnamed sort of moss monster, and the player that ate it, which was Momo, then subsequently named it Kermit because of that. So your line of thinking 100% worked. I should probably give you the point for that, shouldn't I? Hold on, let me do
Well
that before we
done.
move on to the next question. Tied up at 2-2. You guys are doing good. We've had a stunning amount of ties on the show, and since there's only 2 people, I feel like it is likely that we're going to hit that again. But
I don't know. I
we will
think
see.
Dad's going to win.
Are you ready to go to the next question?
Yes.
Now, the next one is actually a team. Sometimes teams do show up on the show. And it's a very interesting team named The Freshmen. And now, like I said, I don't know if you guys are watching the stream, so just to be clear, this is Fresh-Men. They are a superhero team of 5 high school students, all with various powers, that were in a promotional comic Marvel did with Axe body spray.
Oh.
These are heroes representing Axe body spray. They're, very much cool teens that, I guess, use the spray and smell good while they're doing their heroics. Now, interestingly, one of the things that makes the Freshmen so weird, even among the very, very weird space of, sponsored comic books, in the entire issue, Axe body spray is mentioned 2 times, and only 2 times, meaning that it doesn't come across as a sponsored comic book very much. It just comes off as a comic book that is not very well written.
So,
how do we feel about the Freshmen?
Aside from this one that you're talking about, there have been sponsored comic books with products.
Oh, 100%. This happens a surprising amount.
Had no
We've
idea.
done one on the show before.
Had no idea.
Called the Florida Department of Citrus sponsored a Marvel comic about a superhero named Captain Citrus.
That's great.
Who could shoot energy blasts
I wonder how much that
out of his
That's
hands,
pretty
and
funny.
he
cost,
teamed
though.
up with the Avengers.
It'd be interesting to know how much those cost.
And yeah, I will go and say, whether the Freshmen are real or not, this space, 100% a thing that actively does happen.
Interesting. I'm ready.
All right. Okay. Mother, how are you feeling about the Freshmen?
I do not
Think they're
know.
fresh or stale?
But see, I want to have up and look in the chat so all my friends can help me.
Ah, yes.
You mean all the people that hate me because I eat cereal? Really?
Yes. Well, cereal.
I'm sorry, I had to be aware of this rivalry. But yeah, like I said, you can debate for as long as you want. I know these are not... It was very difficult, but very fun setting up this one, because I know that there's so little frame of reference that I just really get to pull out the weird
I'm
stuff.
going to give you a meme that happens at work because I'm going to use it from now on. We also have a Telemundo station, and the evening forecaster is a woman named Nuvia, lovely woman, and she's been trying desperately to teach me some Spanish, which I can never remember, but I do know one word, and it's en serio, and it means really? So, en serio is now part of the show. In fact, we're talking about having T-shirts made. En serio?
Do it. I don't. Is Luna in chat? I don't. There's a someone in my community named Luna. Luna's gonna like that. But are you guys ready to vote on the Freshmen?
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Both of you say real. And you both get a point. The Freshmen are totally real. Book is bad. I had to read the whole comic to prepare for this because I wanted to be sure about how the sponsorship worked. It's not good. It's not good at all.
It's a really good name in
that
context, though. I like whoever thought of that and the Freshmen. I think that's funny.
The name is the best thing about them. I will go ahead and just say 100%. Name is the best thing. The suits, they look like off-brand Power Rangers. The storyline doesn't make any sense. Has absolutely nothing to do with the product. They're fighting a guy who hypnotizes people with sound waves.
Wow.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. Funny. But
all right,
I'm not going to complain about it because it's a good concept for this show. As Amy says in chat, yes, I did send the comic to Amy so she would suffer as well. All right, we're going to change vibes.
I should give everyone my phone number so they can just text me the answers.
Please, I would, Mother.
That's subtle.
That's the you saying give my phone number out on the internet just sent me as a content creator into shock for a second. I would die.
It was a joke.
I know, but the shockwave that sent through my body.
Good. Sometimes you need a little shock. That's how we're feeling right now.
Vengeance. You know what? I can't argue with that one. On that note, let's go ahead and go on to one of the next ones. Maybe one of the weirdest names of the entire episode. This one is Pog. And again, I don't know if you're watching the stream, but it's POGG space UR hyphen POGG. The character known as Pog is just such a wild mishmash of concepts. He is a giant four-armed crocodile man, largely made of crystal, who only speaks in rhymes and was first introduced to the comics when he and his allies were up against the X-Men in what was essentially a giant sword fighting tournament. As if the sword-fighting, rhyming crystal crocodile monster is not complicated enough, that wasn't even his real form. He was actually a small goblin man who was piloting a crocodile monster suit from the inside, and the background of how exactly he came to be as a character never explained at all, even a little bit. It's a wild one to follow, by design, dare I say. What are you thinking
What is
about?
the name?
Crocodile
Pog
Man.
What's the name again?
Crocodile
Pog.
Man.
I'll spell the name
I
again. It's
closed
Pog
out
or
of the
Pog.
thing.
Pogg space UR hyphen POGG. Pog.
This is a stupid question, but is he clothed or not clothed?
His crystal stuff kind of is like armor-ish, I would say.
Okay. I'm ready.
But he is very like giant, like sort of Godzilla-esque monster in that sense. Anyway, Mom, what are you thinking about?
I have
this
no
thing?
idea. But
I'm ready.
that is the theme of the
name of the game.
I have no idea.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. People in chat are also impressed by your question asking, Dad. So good
You're
lines of
winning them
logic
back,
here. But
honey.
we'll see if you get the question right.
Yeah, but they still don't
Uh,
like me because I eat cereal.
All right, you guys ready to vote? In 3, 2, 1, go. Dad's line of logic was correct, and Mom got it right
Yay.
too. Pog, very much real. I don't even really know how to summarize this one. He's just so many things. As I say, he's a tiny goblin man that only speaks in rhyme, piloting a giant crystal crocodile that sword fights the X-Men. Comic books, man, they're wild. They are wild. But that is a point for both of you. Let me move on to the next one. This whole series, all the characters from this were just absolutely wild concepts. I need to put some of them into other episodes, but these are some of the ones that are like, they're very recent. They were just from like a year ago. So a lot of people know them, so that was a good chance to use them in this episode. Now, let's see. For this next question...
Are we getting paid for this, by the way?
Nope. If you would like a share of my Twitch revenue, you'll probably get like $3.
And then are there residuals
buy
when
us
people
pizza
watch
one
it
day.
afterwards?
No.
Okay.
I wish there was. There is not. But hey, that is the life of content creation sometimes. Now, this is one, not that this really matters to you since you're not watching the stream on live. I am going to reveal the name at the end for this one. Sometimes I do that for a dramatic effect. So, on to the next question. We've already had the freshmen in this episode, but characters from advertisement comics are just such a good wealth of both horrible real things and good fake ideas that I had to throw in another one. This time, Spider-Man. Yes, actual Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man, but a version of him that stops villains not with violence, but by calming them down, by giving them Twinkies and other Hostess brand snack cakes. Now, this character originally appeared in an advertisement in the 70s, but actually reappeared fairly recently in a multiverse comic that featured villains crossing universes and killing every Spider-Man they came across. This Hostess version of Spider-Man tried to stop them with his usual method, and just got murdered because no one from outside his weird reality can be convinced to not be a supervillain with Twinkies. So, Hostess Spider-Man.
I have to tell you,
Is this a real concept? Or too far out there?
growing
The
up,
1970s? Oh, sorry.
well, I was just going to say, you used
The
to eat
1970s.
Twinkies all the time, right? You loved them.
I know, yeah. I know.
I never liked
1970s.
I didn't actually know this. Maybe there's history here.
Dad-
1970s was when the ads first started appearing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how long they ran.
I used to have one in my bag lunch that my mom made for me every day.
All right, excellent then. Let's see if that will give you any sort of leg up here. You guys are ready to vote or want to think about this one more?
Yeah, had we not talked about the other sponsorship thing, I might have gone a different way, but I'm ready.
All right. In that case, 3, 2, 1, go. Both of you say real again. Third double real in a row. And I'm very happy to say, yeah,
Oh,
this one is
good.
totally real.
Woohoo!
This one is totally real. Another concept that a lot of people know about, because he was in some like pretty popular Spider-Man comics recently, as I said, but just such a wild thing. Like, I'll have to find the ads and send them to you, because the way that they're formatted, it's just a comic page. Like, it's literally just a comic page where, like, Sandman will be robbing the bank or something, and then Spider-Man talking in, like, the 60s comics cadence will be like, don't do that, Sandman. Why don't you chow down on this little snack here? It's so ridiculous. I'll have to find it for you. They're so incredibly stupid, and I could not resist doing that bit.
The 1970s was what cinched that for me.
Oh, so the date, yeah, that was, that, it's like, I think it was right in the middle. It was like 1975, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
I did look it up for this
Yep.
to make sure that I was right on that one. But yeah, it's a fun little thing in comics history that I'm so glad Marvel did decide to lean into, because he did just die. He just got murdered by a vampire later. So I guess...
Yeah, that threw me too.
Okay.
I was like, no, why would they kill him? But anyway. Okay, next one.
I was
I
just
think
guessing.
he did technically get brought back, but comics, death in comics is never really permanent. So
That's
you are
true.
5-5. Let's go on to the next one, which is haberdasher. Now, first off, to anyone in the chat who does not know what that word means, a haberdasher is an old word for someone who makes hats. That is relevant to this question because this guy has hat-based superpowers. Haberdasher started out as a small-time magician who wanted to learn a bit of real magic to improve his act, and then rapidly learned that by twisting some spells around, he could take the classic rabbit out of a hat trick and modify it to access any hat. As such, he could essentially use any hat within range as a portal that he can move through and grab things through, etc. And he was eventually defeated when he attempted to rob a bank in a setup that a hero had prepared for him, where everyone wearing a hat had hidden a mousetrap under there, so when he tried to reach through, he would get jolted and it threw him off and he got caught. What do you guys think about the hat-based supervillain, Haberdasher?
I liked it until the last sentence. That was a little out there, so I'm not sure, but I'm going to stick with my original thought. I'm ready.
Sticking with the original thought? All right. Mom, what are you thinking?
I don't know. How do you spell it?
Haberdasher, and I will go ahead and tell you, real or fake character, that is a real word.
Because I kind of feel like I've heard it before, but maybe because it's a real word.
It is a real word.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Okay, but I'm ready with my no idea.
I'm ready.
Hey, you say you have no idea for all of them, but you're still tied. So let's see if that continues in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we have differences here. Mom says no, Dad says real. And Mom, you weren't sure, but you've now pulled ahead. I made this one up.
Come on.
I made this one up.
Wow.
You said the last sentence was what flipped you around on that?
No, the last sentence I went, that's too much. I was gonna change to fake on the last sentence.
It is a bit much, but man, it's I dare say it is believable for like 60s comics, which is the vibe that I was going for.
No, I thought it was, but that last sentence I went, no, and then I chose to stick with my original instinct, which was obviously a mistake. En serio?
All I know is chocolate.
Right, let me...
That's my Spanish word.
I don't know any really, so I guess you're beating me in that regard.
You wanted to learn
and now
Spanish.
I don't. And now my brain is full of lore and only lore, and it is the only thing that I know. But hey, lore gets me paid on this show, so I'm not gonna complain. That is true.
All right,
Okay,
I'm ready.
Let's see, where are we at? We're ready to go on to the next one. Now this is one of the stupider names, but whether it's stupid because I made it and couldn't think of a better one, or Marvel made it and couldn't think of a better one, regardless, the name for this one is The Thing-Vengers. That is Thing-Vengers. Alternate teams of Avengers are a pretty common sight, of course, but this group is one of the stranger ones. The team was formed, or really added to, when the Avengers were fighting a villain who had developed something called an anima ray that could bring objects to life. Unfortunately, using it on the Avengers was a mistake, as their objects apparently shared the team's heroic intent. In an attempt to disarm the heroes, the mad scientist brought Mjolnir, Captain America's shield, and one of Iron Man's gauntlets to life, and was subsequently beaten by the living weapons who just stayed on the Avengers team from there. The Avengers weapons brought to life, Fantasia style, I guess.
What
do you guys think
What
about
was the
this
name of the weapon?
stupid
Anna what?
idea? The Anima Ray.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right, I'm ready too.
That was quick. You guys are locked down on all these. And you're doing good, so I can't,
I don't know.
you're nailing it so far. If you guys are set,
Yep.
you ready to
Yes.
vote? All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, same as last time. Mom says fake, Dad says real. Mom, you're so nervous on all of them, and you're doing amazing. I also made this
Well, you
one
know
up.
what got me? Well, you said the thing, but there is a thing.
There is. You actually picked up on that. I was debating between a bunch of names in this one. I was like, this one's not good because it sounds like something else.
I know that there is a thing, so I was like, well, anyway, it didn't.
Go ahead.
It didn't seem like it was
Yeah.
going to be.
I liked Anima Ray a lot, and I thought that is something that Matthew would make up, but it was also good, so that it seemed like it was also something that somebody at Marvel would make up.
Amy's yelling at me because we couldn't think of a name together, and I landed on this. Yeah, Amy, I gave up and picked the stupid one because I thought it fit the vibe.
I think it's good.
Also,
You need to put. We're copywriting that one starting right now.
Hey, as I have said, I think every episode, if by any chance someone from Marvel watches this show and isn't immediately outraged at me for just doing this concept, please hire me. I'll write for you. I can apparently do some convincing garbage.
And you would be a really good employee.
See if animaray.com is available.
I want to get on there and say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody.
Hey, hey, Mom, you can say hi to everybody now. Someone in chat says let Mom know we support her.
Thank you.
So you've
But
got
you can
fans.
support Dad,
You've got
too.
fans in
Thank you.
chat.
Thank you
Either
very
one
much.
of us that wins means that we win.
That is very true. And they're both doing good. It's 7-5 right now. That's super
I do
tight.
predict, though, that I
So-
will lose. So I'll just go ahead and say that.
That's the third time you've said that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, only time
That's
will
right.
tell. So let's go
Okay.
on to the next question. The next character is Blackjack O'Hare. Rocket Raccoon is a pretty well-known character at this point, but there are plenty of other animal experiments in the same vein as him that get a little bit weirder. One of these is Rocket Raccoon's nemesis, Blackjack O'Hare. To visualize Blackjack, essentially just picture Rocket Raccoon but as a rabbit, and with blue fur for some reason, and packing just as many weapons. And much like Rocket and the Guardians, Blackjack isn't just doing his crimes alone, he's also the leader of a large mercenary gang of evil space rabbits called the Bunny Brigade.
That
The
is
nemesis
really
of
cute.
Rocket Raccoon, Blackjack O'Hare, and the Bunny Brigade.
I'm ready.
The Bunny Brigade makes it hard because that's
The Bunny Brigade is it is a little bit of a twist at the end there in vibes.
I mean,
You guys, Dad's so confident on your logic is very good though. I'm liking the thought process here. You guys are both ready?
Yes. We don't
All right,
know. We
cool.
just do something.
That's the name of the game. 3, 2, 1, go. Both of you say real, and yes, Blackjack O'Hare is entirely real.
That Bunny Brigade
He
thing,
is-
I don't know. That was a little too cutesy.
It's another good name.
I mean, to be fair, they are like a bunch of murderers. This comic is, I mean, it's a Rocket Raccoon comic, and it has the vibes you would expect from a Rocket Raccoon comic. It is out there. Blackjack, as a mercenary, is hired by the CEO of a company whose name I do not remember, but he's basically like a beaver. He's Rocket, but a beaver, and instead of a mercenary, he's just like a businessman. It's...
That's fun.
Rocket stuff in the comics gets so much wilder than the movies have shown.
All right,
All right.
I'm
Are we set
gonna
to-
start a new segment that will come up intermittently amongst the questions. It is Matthew,
All right.
explain this picture.
Explain that picture. It's really here. Hold it up to the screen. I'll make it bigger for a second, if I can find my interface.
That was so cool. That was so much fun.
I'll just make it slightly. It's very small, and my hair's in a
The
ponytail.
picture's
So
fading. You have touched the screen. Yeah.
This is at Avengers Campus, right? Yeah, this is in the Doctor Strange section of Avengers Campus. They have one of those
at
little
Disneyland,
like illusion things on the ground. Yeah, at Disneyland. My parents were actually this is a nice story about you guys that I think I've told before. Yeah, I'll tell the story. Originally, my parents had planned a vacation to go and see one of my dad's friends, and that ended up not panning out. But there was still like money and time set aside for a vacation, and as we were discussing like what we wanted to do, I entirely as a joke said, hey, let's go to Avengers Campus, because this was shortly after Avengers Campus had opened, and my parents, being also nerds, just said, yeah, and then we did go, and it was like very fun, so thank you for that.
Less than a week. We just went.
Yeah, it was super short. I also... Oh, let me turn that off.
Well, you should drink water.
Correct. Yeah, I'll have to take a break.
Everybody hydrate. You can tell him to hydrate.
Handle that later.
And there's...
well, points are off for this.
There's Avengers Camp.
Avengers Campus is very good. I think also the fact that Galaxy's Edge was there was another thing that contributed, because Dad, I know you wanted to go to Galaxy's Edge a lot.
I have that picture.
It was fun, and it was fun to do just the last minute thing and go like that, because we don't ever do that. You make us sound really fun, Matthew. And it was fun to surprise you, but we enjoyed it. That was a really good trip.
It was
fun.
There's
all right. Are we ready to go on to
the Star Wars Land part?
The Millennium Falcon? Is that the... Oh, yeah. That was cool.
cool.
We should go back sometime. I'll bug Nikhil and visit him
we'll
while
go
we're
back.
in the area.
Sure.
Yes. Everyone in chat convinced my parents to take me to Avengers Campus again. Ah.
All right. Next.
Okay, I got it. Wait, okay. We're going to go on to the next question, but how about this? Whoever loses has to take me to Avengers Campus. That seemed like a great idea for this show. And on that note, before you have time to process it, let's go on to the next question, which is... Bi-Beast. B-I-Beast. Bi-Beast is a muscular two-headed monster, which is a fairly common trope in a lot of things, just a big buff guy with two heads. But Bi-Beast stands out by having his two heads not next to each other, like you would expect, but stacked on top of each other. One head and then the other head above that one. Now, you'd probably expect this type of monster to be a dumb, rampaging brute, and you would be wrong.
Rusty wants to get out. I'm just going to let him out. I'm sorry.
Oh, cat interruption. I think that's the one thing that the internet will allow for interruptions, so I'm not going to complain
Anything
about that.
on the cat is okay.
I'm sorry.
You laugh. It's very true.
Okay, Bi-Beast. Heads on top of each other.
All right, there we go. Now, you'd probably expect this type of monster to be a dumb, rampaging brute, but you would be wrong. Bi-Beast is incredibly intelligent and a master strategist because, and I quote, his top head possesses knowledge of warfare, while his lower head possesses knowledge of culture.
Wow.
Bi-Beast, the stacked two-headed monster, one head for war and one head for culture.
Ready.
What are you guys thinking about that
I'm ready
one?
too.
All right, you guys are so fast at this. I'm impressed. You're
when
the
you don't know, you
fastest
don't know.
answers. Well, here's the thing:
feel like
fastest answers so far, but also a really good success rate, so you can't complain about it. And in that case, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Mom says real, Dad says fake. Mom, you're killing it. Bi-Beast is totally real.
I think I've heard of Bi-Beast.
I thought...
You've heard probably from my TikTok.
I don't think I didn't take a look through there and see what some of those names were.
Great.
I did pick things not from my recent videos for that
Great
reason.
character, terrible name. That was my logic.
His character is not necessarily as great as you'd think. It's way weirder.
Oh,
but
100%.
I abbreviated it.
I just liked it.
I abbreviated it.
I believe it, but I thought the name was terrible.
Yeah.
The name is not great. You want to know how he was eventually defeated? And it's or not necessarily defeated, but like one of his weaknesses. And I don't even understand like where this logic is. But The actual sort of full little blurb about Bybeast's knowledge is the top head possesses knowledge of warfare, the lower head possesses knowledge of culture, but he possesses no knowledge of science, and that is his weakness. Which, what? That does, okay, sure.
Okay, next.
Some of these are crazy.
Hey, good characters rarely make it onto this show. That said,
point.
Whether real or fake, I actually lied because I think this is a very good one. I think this is a very, very, very good character. So we're just going to go ahead and move on to it right now. This one is Golden Oldie. You two already know Silver Surfer, or at least Mom does. I know Mom loves Silver Surfer. But as a very quick refresher, he is an alien who was cosmically empowered by another entity named Galactus to sort of serve as his servant and herald. But there are plenty of other characters who have been similarly empowered over the years. One such excellent example is Golden Oldie. Golden Oldie is the result of Galactus coming to Earth to empower a new being in the same way he did Surfer, but when he fired his cosmic power beam, he missed and accidentally hit Spider-Man's Aunt May, essentially turning her into a gold version of Silver Surfer, Golden Oldie. What are you thinking about cosmically empowered Aunt May?
I need my little guy to bring me good luck and help me.
It's been working so far.
Yeah, this is a hard one.
What's the name again?
Golden Oldie.
Golden Oldie. Oh, man. Silver Surfer and Golden Oldie.
I feel like doing something like that to... See, because here's the thing. When I watch the TV shows and the movies and something happens to some character, I feel like that has to be permanent. But that's not necessarily a thing in the comic books. Is that fair to say?
I will add a piece of information that, again, whether real or fake, this is a piece of information I will add to the description. This was an alternate universe thing. This is not a thing that was in the main status. Alternate universes are allowed in this show. Some of the weirdest stuff comes from those.
I'm ready.
So this is an alternate universe thing.
Okay.
All right, you guys ready?
Sure.
3, 2, 1, go. You both say real again. You're very good at getting the real ones. Golden Oldie is totally real. Aunt May with the powers of Silver Surfer. This is another one that's a little bit more in the public eye. Let me boost your scores up really quick. I'll even actually center them on the board. Look at that. Sometimes I forget to do that, but not today. But we're going to take a very brief interlude here because this is a question that does come with a bonus round. We're going to have a bonus round related to this question. So, a little bit more background information on Galactus. He is this giant cosmic being that eats planets. That is his thing. He goes around getting sustenance by consuming planets and all life on them. And the reason that he empowers these people is so that they can go out into the universe and find planets for him to eat. That was what Silver Surfer's original job was, but then he betrayed him and became a good guy.
But you're giving us this background information and it is fact? Or it is canon?
This is real. I'm about to say yes. This is
Oh, because I was
do the plug for the show title.
Galactus is real. I know that.
Yes. Sorry, I should have made that clear beforehand. This bonus, this is like a trivia question, different format.
Okay.
So that is real information. Everything I just said. Galactus eats planets. The heralds are there to find him planets to consume. But Aunt May is not evil. Aunt May did not want to give him planets to consume, and so what she did was she found him another food source. If you can guess what the food source is, I will give you 2 points right now. And I'll go ahead and say it is guessable. It's not some like weird one-off obscure comic thing that there's no shot you can guess. It's not easy. But if you can guess the food source that Aunt May provided to Galactus in lieu of eating planets, you will get 2 points for that.
I don't think it's Twinkies.
And no real order. You don't have to answer at the same time. Just you get one guess.
Wait, a food source instead
It's
of
not eating planets.
eating planets.
Yep.
Do we just say it, or are we going to say it at the same time?
Yeah, the bonus rounds are informal. Just
It's
when you
just
have your
hard
answer,
when
go
you
ahead.
kind of don't even understand the question.
Aunt May didn't want Galactus to get food by eating planets, so she said, hey, eat this other thing instead.
Dark matter.
Simple as that. Dark matter is an excellent guess. That is very comic booky.
Oh, now the pressure's on for me. I was going to say the moon. I don't know.
The moon's uninhabited planets. So dark matter and the moon. You guys ready to know the actual answer?
Sure.
It's Twinkies. This is another hostess promotion.
Oh, man, that's great. Nicely done.
The level of straight face I had to keep when Mom said, I don't think it's Twinkies. It is.
Nice.
It is another Twinkies
nicely
promotion. There was a planet
I feel
out in
like I
space
should
that
get
was
half
literally
a
just a
point for that.
giant Twinkie. It's a giant
Chat.
Twinkie.
I mean, wow.
That's funny.
So yeah, it was. This is another hostess promo, and she went out to space and she found him a planet that was literally just a giant Twinkie and said, "Eat this instead of killing people."
Great.
Wow. You got us good.
That is one of my favorite
Got me
moments
good.
in this entire series. People are saying give Mom a half point. I will give Mom a half point.
She's already
for
ahead,
at least
though. In serio?
mentioning-
Chat.
That is true. That is true. Because half point is basically a point.
That was good.
Wow.
All right,
But yeah.
next one.
That's
That was-
crazy.
I'm so incredibly happy that one shook out the way it did.
That was so funny.
fantastic.
That was good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Also, props to me for connecting 3 questions in a linear order because I had to do Freshman, Hostess, Spider-Man, and then Golden Oldie without it being suspicious. Anyway, moving on to
Well
the
done.
next one. Let's go ahead to Moon Rock. You know me, and so you know I had to have at least one Moon Knight character in here, and boy, did I go with a dumb one. Moon Rock was a villain with the power to control stone and earth and rock and all that, but because of magical shenanigans that gave him the powers, specifically he could only control stone making up the moon and nothing else, nothing from earth. And that meant that his power options were very limited to tiny meteorites and little things from space that had fallen to earth, and he wanted to kill Moon Knight, bear with me here, so that he could become the new avatar of Khonshu and hopefully use that power to somehow switch the orbits of the Earth and the Moon so that the Earth rotated around the Moon, therefore making it the Moon so that he could control Earth. Does it make sense? Not really, but that's pretty standard for these kinds of things. What do you think about Moon Rock?
I hate this question so much. It is my least favorite question because you love Moon Knight. And so there's so much pressure.
I'll take this time. Hold on. I'm going to take this time to show off. I posted about this on my Discord and Twitter earlier, but my friend Friso Cosplay, look what he made me and gave me today. Guys, look at this thing. This is, I'm going to put it on. This is a Khonshu helmet. I have to take my headphones and my glasses off for this, but it is not just a Khonshu skull. It is like an actual helmet. It is an actual wearable Khonshu helmet. I'm going to try to do a full Khonshu cosplay now. I love it so much.
Can you see out of that thing?
It's incredibly good. And so
He
I
doesn't
had
care
to
if he
put
can't.
something Moon Knight in there, both so because I love him and because I had to show off my
really
Khonshu
impressive. Can you see out of it?
Surprisingly well. The nose is hollow, so you can kind of see. You can kind of. It's hard to see because of the light, but the nose is hollow. And then these are hollow as well, but those are like too far off the side. But yeah, you can actually see decently well.
And what is the name of the person that made it?
Friso Cosplay.
That's really.
I'm gonna post a TikTok about this. I posted it on my Discord.
It's really
Everyone go
impressive.
It's amazing.
use
It really is.
Did he
Yes.
did he
Super cool,
create it on the computer first in some sort of CAD program?
Yeah, he had a model online and then 3D printed it.
Is it heavy?
No, it's very light. It's hollow. It's entirely hollow because it's meant to be like a helmet.
But
so
it looks like
heavy.
it's pretty sturdy.
I want to try it on.
It's it's good material. Anyway,
Nicely done, sir. Who made that?
back to the question at hand.
Very nice.
So there's,
That gave Mom time to
I
debate.
know there's so much pressure with this one, and I'm confident I'm going to get it wrong, but
You've said that and then gotten it right so many times.
Yeah.
On that note, are we ready to
I'm
vote?
ready.
All right, Daddy.
I kind of
ready?
forgot what I was going to do because of the interruption of the Khonshu head.
It was a psychological tactic on my end.
Okay.
This is so hard.
Yeah.
All of these are.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. You both say fake, and once again, you are
Yay.
both right.
Yes.
I wanted to make up a stupid Moon Knight character, but now you're going to get a little rant from me as I boost your scores up, because this concept is based on a real thing that happened. It is maybe my least favorite comic of all time. It's called Age of Khonshu. And the entire concept of the book is that somehow now there's this like super mega full moon that's happening, and it happens only like once every couple of centuries. And when the super mega moon happens, Moon Knight gets all these sorts of new powers, like controlling moons. Like, you've seen the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know he's a fairly grounded
Oh, yeah, we
character.
should've
Like,
said
his powers
Moon Knight.
are more reasonable. But yeah, he summons a moon from across space and hits Thor with it. And it is not, like, in a cool way. It's cheesy and dumb. And I just put this question on the list because I wanted to rant about Age of Khonshu more. I hate it so much. But it did provide me a question on this show, so I got something relatively helpful out of it. And I did boost your scores up. Congratulations to both of you. Let's move on to
it triggers
one.
all of this stuff in my mind, and it makes me think we should do that first round over again, the first question over again, because
that would actually
it's
be
like,
fun. We
oh
can do that
right,
again at
Moon
the
Knight
end.
and Hulk and this and that, and it's like all these things that it's like a good review.
I would be down for that. I would be down for that. But we will do that at the end. We still have several more questions to go, and the next one is Melf. M-E-L-F, Melf.
M as in Mary?
The story of Melf. Elf with an M in front of it. The story of Melf is quite an odd one. It begins in a series called Defenders, which is a real series, to be clear. Think of it as another Avengers-esque team in a lot of cases, but led by Doctor Strange, usually, in this case. When a strange man dressed as an elf began committing a series of murders with a seemingly normal gun, when this story began. This man, given a placeholder name of simply Elf with a Gun, would only appear at the end of issues for a while and continue his crime spree just murdering people, as if sort of setting up for some sort of later plot or big reveal that would play into the rest of the series, kind of MCU end scene style. And then he got hit by a car and died, and the explanation of who he was or why he was killing people never happened. Whether it was something that was planned that got canceled, or it was all some sort of red herring, we have absolutely no idea. What do you guys think about Melf, the Elf with a Gun?
I'm surprised by how important the names are to my decisions each time, but
The names are something.
Okay, I'm ready.
They're very hard to make because I know they're important.
Ready.
What are you thinking, Mom?
I'm ready.
Dad's ready.
I'm ready. I don't know the
Okay.
answer, but I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go! Once again, you both say real, and you both are absolutely killing it. Melf, the Elf with a Gun, is real. He's just a little man dressed as an elf, and he has a regular gun. And why or what exactly he was, never explained at all.
That's pretty funny.
He's just
The
there.
name did it for me.
That's pretty funny.
The name was added posthumously. Is that how you pronounce that word? It was never actually said. They just called him the Elf with a Gun, and then he got hit by the car, and at some point then they confirmed that his name was Melf. And that was it.
Okay. Picture break.
was it.
Explain this picture, Matthew.
Another picture break. All right, let me. Oh, a lot of people don't know that. I'll have to explain that on a stream later. That is an old comic that I wrote in high school.
Your first comic, and you went out.
My
You
first
wrote.
comic,
You wrote the
of
text,
two.
and you went out internationally and found a letterer and an artist for this, and the name was Encore. And how old were you when you did this? Like 16 or something? 15?
17.
Yeah. So very impressive. Encore.
And now I did a D&D campaign, and that's my cooler writing. Now someone just needs to hire me to do creative writing. Please, for the love of God, please keep
That was
Matthew is
that
the
was a
most creative
great-
person
yeah,
I've ever met in my
yeah.
whole entire life.
Okay.
Man, hey, this show showcases the worst
Picture
of that.
break over.
You are
Next
though.
one.
You were. Well, I know now. I'm like, well, I need to find some pictures. I have some.
Okay.
Well, you can. How many? Actually, let me take this to find
Oh,
out how
this
many
is
questions
such
we
a
have left
cute
to go
one. Can I
down.
show this one?
Mm-hmm. Get closer.
Oh, we're almost done. Actually, I didn't realize how fast it was going. We have, if we count the extra thing, we have 5 questions
wait.
left.
Look,
Okay.
Matthew.
But wait. Wait. Okay.
This is something I fully should have expected when inviting my
This is
parents
so fun.
into my internet home.
Hold yours up again, Tracy.
I'll be so kind
Oh,
to
here's
you all,
another
and
one.
I'll even
Okay.
increase the size on it. Ignore my hair; it's much better now.
So that mine is when he was what, about 10?
Hold on, I have to change your camera sizes manually. Hold on.
10,
Hang on, I don't know which picture it is. I have to change the cameras manually.
10 or 11.
Camp.
Yep. Mine's 10 or 11. How old's yours?
Probably.
I
I
would
think
not
that was
know.
that first one. So I would say yours is 10 and mine is 11.
Mine's 11 based on the date.
Yeah.
Little
No,
baby
'cause he
me,
was younger
half
than
my
that.
life ago. Is that a grimace shake? No, this is long before.
Oh, but here's
Long
another
before the
one
grimace
because
shake.
it's Matthew will have to tell you the story of these photos.
Get it closer.
I'll do the abbreviated version of it now for time. I used to go to this camp for type 1 diabetic kids. I went there for a very long time and then volunteered there as a counselor for several more years. And it was a tradition that we would always get a milkshake on the way back, and so mother and father, I suppose, still both have those pictures.
We would
And then the
we
camp
would
got shut down
reenact
due to
it every
COVID and
year,
didn't start back up.
and we'd see him grow,
But, oh well.
grow, and it was fun.
Yep.
We should do it now, but
I have told some stories from that camp before, I think. I'll have to think if I have any really good ones and tell them on stream at some point. But 5 questions left. Are we ready to go
are
through
people
them?
still watching, or have they given up on us?
Oh yeah, the views have been really stable.
Y'all are so nice. You're so nice.
Okay.
All right, the next question is, actually kind of summer camp related by absolute pure coincidence. It is Mosquito. Mosquito has one of those powers that's actually kind of effective if you think about it, but I personally don't like thinking about it because his whole thing is that if he touches people, he can make them super itchy. That's the power. It sounds stupid, but it was taken way more seriously than you expect in the comic that he came out in. Because he probably, unsurprisingly, faced Spider-Man, but was actually one of the first villains to unmask Peter, because Spider-Man wears a full bodysuit, and the mosquito made his face so itchy that he had to remove his mask to scratch it. What are you thinking about the itchy boy, the mosquito? Awful man. Horrible
What year
guy.
was that?
What year was that? That would be older. Let me again check and get you the exact information on that, or make it up on the fly. I have to stall for a second, depending on which one of those that is. That would be in the late 60s, 1968. Early Spider-Man.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right. In that case, 3, 2, 1, go. Dad says fake, Mom says real. And Dad catches up one. It is not real. I thought the early Spider-Man unmasking concept would be an interesting one. I was curious what you guys were gonna do with that. What was your thought process, Dad? Tell me the logic.
I
behind the
saw
answer there.
too much of you in that. That's all I can say.
You saw too much of me in the itchy guy.
In that description, I thought that's something that Matthew would make up.
I want to end the show
And
now.
Sergio?
Now he wants me to win. I felt like
I want
had
to end
heard
the
of
show
that.
now.
I felt like I had heard of that before, but maybe it was just like the evil mosquitoes.
This is the worst thing that's ever been said on this channel. Mom, do you want bonus points? I want to take points
I have
away
a
from
stomach
Dad
bug
now.
and I'm here.
Oh my God. No, we're just, well, you know what? This is actually such a wonderful, wonderful transition that I had sent into PowerPoint at this exact point to the next bonus round, which I have just ominously put on screen. How well do you know your son?
Oh,
Now, this is going to be another question that you guys are going to answer individually, different sort of format, but to each of you, and I would say that this is another thing where you're going to have to take off headphones
This
and
is
answer
very
individually.
stressful.
If you guys can name my 3 favorite superheroes, you will get a point.
oh. How are
There's
we
another
revealing
section
this?
to this as well, but that's the first
Okay.
one. I will say either of you can go first if one of you feels confident, but just to get no hints, the other person.
I'm just
take off your
thinking,
headphones,
so I'm
mute.
thinking.
Okay, I'll take out my earbuds again.
I'm not
All right.
talking.
Well, it doesn't matter. You guys can
Oh my
debate for
gosh,
as long
my
as you
heart
like,
is
of course.
palpitating.
I'm very glad that this one came up after Dad just incinerated me
I
on
think I have
a
two
live
of them,
stream.
but I'm trying to think of the other one. Oh,
Someone in chat just got it wrong, which is very funny. You're very, very close, Zapdos, but you're technically not right. One of all of those that you said are top 5. I do
superhero
not
or
put those
villain,
at,
or
at 3. I'll go ahead and tell you, villain is going to be a slightly variation of villain is going to be the next.
okay.
Next
Is Dad
question.
listening?
I do not believe so.
So I should whisper.
We're gonna hope not.
Okay, I don't know if these are right, which I
In no particular order.
I
of
do
course.
know you well.
Let's see.
Moon Knight, Doctor Strange,
Correct.
Mysterio. That's the one I'm not sure about.
Mysterio is not a superhero.
Well, that's why I asked. I said, "Is this a hero or
I
villain?"
will allow you. Since I do like Mysterio, I will allow you to guess another one.
Okay.
Since that, yeah, you can guess one more. I'll go ahead and tell you the first 2 you got it right.
Okay. All right. Okay. If you want, you can go to Dad and then come back to me while I think.
Oh, he just got up to do something.
He should lose a point for that. Okay. 2 out of 3 is really good.
2 out of 3 is solid. I actually probably should have said whoever got, like, in the case that neither of you get all 3, I'll probably say a point goes to whoever gets more. But I don't know. It's my game. I can change the rules on the fly. Who cares?
True. Okay. Dad's. Oh, he is back.
Now, if you can't think of another one, we are going to go to Dad in just a minute.
Okay. Why don't you go? Can you
get through these last? Oh. Well, no. I mean, like, we'll go to Dad and count as 2.
Oh. Okay. Give me just a second.
But like I said, villain is going to be next, and you did say a good answer.
Oh, you're going to ask me those later?
Harder. We're going to do a round of hero and a round of villain.
Oh,
this
okay.
This episode's gonna run a little long, but it's the season finale. I don't care.
And it's your parents, and we don't know.
It's season finale. It's the parents episode. It's. I think people would expect this one to run long, and I'm not complaining. And I will say you have gotten 2 out of 3 is great, and the third one is the hardest. So.
I think so too, because I could say Spider-Man, but I don't think that's it.
If you wanna just say something and move on, I'll tell you what it is, and then we can go over to Dad. Your call.
Can you tell me what it starts with?
That I do think would give it away.
Do I know this?
Yes. Yes. I am not. Like another one of my favorite superheroes is Sleepwalker, but Sleepwalker is too obscure, so I don't usually put him in my top 3 because then I have to explain every time. He's like 4. But these are known characters. No, I'll give you that.
Okay, let me just think for another minute. Grr. Is Dad gonna know
I'll
it?
give you 10 more seconds.
All right, go to Dad. It's okay. I don't know. I'll just stick with those 2.
All right, you want me to tell you now,
yes.
and then we'll go to Dad? Venom.
I totally knew that.
And before people in chat say, is Venom a hero? Venom is an anti-hero in current era and has been for a long time.
Yeah, I think I would have made him a villain. But I know you've explained the whole symbiote thing. And
it's a whole thing.
I know, you've explained it.
But
okay.
2 out of 3.
Okay.
2 out of 3.
Okay.
That's good. You might still win it.
Okay.
So let's
hope.
signal.
Chat, let's hope.
Signal Dad.
Did you guys go off and do
Dad,
another program or what?
I'm not good at this.
Mom got 2 out of 3. She got 2 out of 3.
You ready?
Go for it.
Moon Knight, Spider-Man, Mysterio.
Both of you said Mysterio, which is very interesting. Mysterio is not a superhero. Mysterio.
Oh,
is
I meant to ask that.
He pretends.
I meant to ask that at the beginning. Was it superheroes or supervillains?
I will say this. I told this to Mom as well. We're gonna do another round of villains after this, and I'll go ahead and mark you down both for 1. Mysterio is 1, but I will give you the same courtesy that I did to Mom. If you want to replace that Mysterio answer with another one, I will.
Well, I feel like it's something that I don't know. Do I know this?
I will go ahead. Yes, these are characters that are known.
No, but that we
by
don't.
You guys, and I can.
Oh,
be
that we
confident.
know.
These are definitely. I did not pick super obscure ones for this.
Silver Surfer.
Like Sleepwalker.
Does that count as a hero?
Silver Surfer? Silver Surfer is a hero,
yes.
but my 3 favorite superheroes are
Yeah.
Moon Knight, Doctor Strange, and Venom.
Oh, yeah.
Venom,
Moon Knight,
see?
Strange,
But I would have made
and
Venom.
Venom. Sleepwalker and Spider-Man with sort of an asterisk and Superior Spider-Man are 4 and 5, if anyone in chat is curious.
Okay.
But, Mom, you won that one. So, congratulations, Mom.
I got 2.
You get a point up. Now, we are going to do the same thing again real quick, but with villains. Now, this one is harder. I'm going to go ahead and say this one is harder, and there are sort of... I'm going to be a little bit more lenient with the answers.
Have we heard of these?
You will have heard of it. Yes. I'm going to modify it slightly. And another one that you would not have heard of is Mr. Sinister. I love Mr. Sinister, but I'm going to sort of move the 4th slot up to 3 for the sake of this one, because I don't think you guys know who Mr. Sinister is.
No, I feel like you did a TikTok on him, but I don't know anything about him.
I'm sure I have.
I don't know.
He's crazy.
I only have 2, and one of them is Mysterio.
Well, I'll go ahead and... You both are already at 1 point, because Mysterio is on that list.
Yeah, I only have one other.
And Venom, you said doesn't count.
There's nuance there for the sake of this simplicity, or for the sake of simplicity for this question. My favorite era of Venom is his more heroic era, so that's the justification that I usually give.
Okay. Oh!
You think you got one?
Null.
Null is a great... not on top 3, but that was a very... not a guess that I was expecting at all. I think some people in chat are going to be very surprised about that one.
I do
But
listen to him.
very
I can't
good.
remember all of this stuff with the time pressure of being on here, but I actually do listen.
All right. Dad, what was your other one, you know?
Believe it or not, it just left my brain. But then I thought of Red Skull. But
Red Skull is a villain, not one of my favorites.
Nah.
Red Skull is, yeah.
I can't think of the other one.
I think that I know the other one. I think that, but I can't think of his name right now. He's, I want to say he was in Hawkeye.
Not the Hawkeye show. No.
Maybe
Kang?
Not Kang, but that's another good pick.
No, there was like
I'll give
it
you
was
like another.
a,
I'm watching my timer here, so I'll give you guys like
I
another
want to
minute.
say it was
and
like
then
a
I'll
boss
tell you.
guy. He was in like a
Are you thinking of Kingpin?
Kingpin. That's what I'm thinking of.
Kingpin is not one of my favorite, but that is another.
I couldn't
good
remember
pull.
his name, but it was Wasn't that Hawkeye?
No, yes, you're right. That wasn't Hawkeye.
I can't remember the other one I had.
Well, like I said, I'm watching my timers. You got like 30 more seconds if you want to try to throw in any.
Do you want to give us
Okay.
a clue? What
I was going to say,
what
give
he
us
was in?
3 options, and we'll tell you which one.
I'll give you a hint. It's another one on the list is another Spider-Man villain.
Oh, a Dr. Octopus.
I will give him on the point for that one.
for you.
Dr. Octopus is another one of my favorites.
Okay.
Only one
All
I-
right, there's like 5 more seconds if anyone wants to throw in one more.
Nope.
All right, the other one is Doctor Doom.
Oh yeah.
That was
I've
another
heard you
slightly
talk
harder
about
one,
him.
but Mysterio and Doctor Octopus were the
Oh,
ones
from
that I
Fantastic
was like, oh, maybe
Four.
that could... Most notably from Fantastic Four, yeah.
Okay.
He fights everybody nowadays, but most notably from Fantastic Four historically. So that is another point for Mom. Good job.
Who was the big giant space alien thing in the Strange movie?
Dormammu?
Yes, Dormammu. He was terrible.
Dormammu is another... Dormammu's... I almost put Dormammu's kid on this episode of Candy Clash, but I wasn't sure if Dormammu was a reference that you guys would get it, or have enough context for.
I thought that was a terrible one in the movie. I didn't like him. Okay, next question.
I'll explain why you're right about that after we're done with this. Anyway,
Are
moving
we
on
embarrassing
to
you?
the
We're
next...
so sorry if we are.
No. Hey, that thing that Dad said about Dormammu being stupid in the Doctor Strange movie is correct. Anyway, let's move on to the next question.
What number
on
is
the
this?
list. We have remaining 1, 2, actually only 2 more traditional questions, and then Mom suggested we do the looping through MCU thing again at the end, which depending on how long these last 2 take.
All right, go.
So
Yeah,
we
I gotta
could
think
see.
about that.
But yes, The next one on the list is another name that might take a bit of time to parse here. It is Dramaticus. Dramaticus is, you know, those little wooden puppet things that like artists use to get pose reference? Dramaticus is essentially a living puppet, one of those. He was an enchanted puppet that was used in puppet shows to entertain kids as a sort of hero figure. He was always the little magic actor that was playing a hero in these stories, but he wanted to do more. He wanted to go out into the world and become more of a notable figure that did stuff for real. So he learned magic and taught himself how to project an illusion around himself of a real guy, of this, kind of classic strapping Hercules type gladiator. And then he went out and did fighting stuff. He became like a famous fighter who was notable for being very, very hard to hit because he was actually just a hologram of a guy surrounding this magical floating puppet in the center of his form. What do you guys think about the magic puppet gladiator, Dramaticus?
Excellent character development, bad name.
Excellent character. It is a cheesy name.
I have no idea.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm not ready.
All right. Well, we have a little bit of time to debate.
I just sometimes I know, and then I get it wrong.
You've been doing great.
Okay. I just totally switched
right.
my answer, so like I literally don't know.
Okay, then. 3, 2, 1, go. Dad says fake, Mom says real. This is another fake one, and I'm very happy that Dad said good character development because this is another character from my D&D show. I pulled that trick twice on you.
Oh, that's so funny.
I pulled that trick twice. Yeah. And the name, people in chat are like, oh, he arrested you. The name is supposed to be cheesy. You think I wrote that name intending it to be cool? No, it's supposed to be. He's the like stereotypical like over-the-top pro wrestler gladiator type. He's 100% meant to be cheesy.
Well done.
But I'm glad that the character development was good because that's the part that actually matters. Yeah. So good job, Dad. You were correctly able to identify my writing.
Score?
It is 11-14 right now. So officially, there are like 2 questions left.
I can't win.
If we count the second run of MCU. So yeah, Mom has officially won, but it can get really close. It could get 13-14.
Yes.
All right, lightning round, go.
Last
not
round,
your show.
at least. You've never had a lightning round. You can't just add a lightning round. That's not how this works.
Meant go.
Okay, in that case, let's go. The final character of this episode is the Inventor. The Inventor is an evil clone of Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison cloned in the modern day and essentially turned into a supervillain. That, for comics, pretty run-of-the-mill. That kind of stuff, I mean, it's weird, but it's the very much acceptable level of weird for comic books. Here's the thing. The guy that cloned Thomas Edison in this case, he messed it up a little bit and accidentally corrupted the DNA sample of Edison with the scientist's pet cockatiel. It is Thomas Edison, but evil, and his DNA is spliced with a pet bird. And his name is his supervillain name is the Inventor.
All right, I'm
ready. What do you think about for the final round, the Inventor?
I like it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. You both say real, and once again, for the final character, you are both correct. The Inventor is a real villain.
Like
he is just as wild as he seems. There were really, really, really heavy rumors that he was going to be the villain of season 1 of Miss Marvel, and then that did not happen. Oh, man. He is a Miss Marvel villain. He originally debuted in that, which, I mean, I think you've seen that show.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, like, imagine Kamala interacting with this guy. It makes sense. It makes sense that she would fight Thomas Edison, but a evil bird.
Congratulations, dear. 15-12.
Well,
no. We can still do the MCU stuff if we want. Do we want to take another run at the MCU listing thing now that you've had time to think on it?
I don't understand.
Mom suggested that since we did that, like, list as many MCU movies and shows as you can at the beginning.
Gosh.
Now that you're, like, in a comics mindset, do you want to take it again and do sort of a round 2 on that and see how you can go? We don't have to. That's not something I originally planned for, but if you want to, we totally can.
The only ones the one that come in
I know
mind is the
what
one
we
you
could
just
do.
mentioned.
We could go back and forth, like I say one, you say one, I say one, you say
Okay.
one, and then
Oh, okay.
And see how many
we
you
get
can get.
stuck.
Okay, you know what? Sure.
All right.
All right, you can do a collaboration. All right, cool. Let me get my counter back up.
Go.
We will end the night on collaboration.
Oh my gosh.
I'm ready when you guys are.
Do you want me to go?
Yep.
Okay, Thor.
Thor.
Ms. Marvel.
That makes sense. I just said it. Ms. Marvel.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Can we describe it and not give the title?
If you describe it well enough, it might be the title.
No, it's that one that you said was the next phase, that group of 7 or 8 characters that
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of the name of.
I know what you're
Is
talking
it I?
Go do
Does it
it.
begin with I? What's the first letter?
E.
Pick a different
That'll be
one.
nice.
Huh? What's the
You could go pick a different one and go back. You don't have to do it in any order.
what's the first letter?
E.
Eternals.
Eternals. I'll give it to you.
Black Widow.
Black Widow.
I said Black Widow before.
I think I didn't count the score. I reset the
We're
scores.
Oh, we can use ones we've already done?
yeah.
Oh,
Well, yeah, I don't
starting
remember
over.
which ones you said. That was an hour and a half ago.
Captain America.
Captain America.
Incredible Hulk. Have I said that?
Hulk. You said it in the first
Okay.
round, so I'll count it.
Endgame.
Endgame.
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse.
Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange. Okay, Doctor Strange. You know what? Just for clarity, I'm going to count that as 2. I'm going to count that as the first and the second because you said technically both. I don't know if that was your intent, but I'm going to be nice and count that
Thank
as 2.
you.
Loki.
Loki.
Um, Thor 2, like God of Thunder or something like that.
Oh.
I'll allow Thor 2 because Thor 2 is very forgettable. It's Thor the Dark World, but
Okay.
no one remembers that name, so I'll be generous
Okay.
because this is the end, and I'll allow Thor 2.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Hawkeye? Did we say Hawkeye?
Hawkeye.
Okay.
That was one. She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Civil War?
Civil War.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Quantumania.
Ant-Man and
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-
Quantumania.
Ant-Man and
then
Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
All right, that's all 3 of those. Good job.
how are we ending?
I'm thinking when you guys are ready. Basically, if there's more you can get.
Silver
but
Surfer.
Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer is pre-MCU, but that is a movie that exists. You got 21 this time, which actually, funny enough, I think that is the exact combined total of what you got at the first time. Because Mom got 6 and Dad got 15.
funny.
So I think you actually landed on the exact. Weirdly, by saying different things, you said
That's
different
so
things, but
funny.
you landed on the exact total.
We must be married.
We must be.
Perfect. And at that, we actually hit right a minute or an hour and 35 minutes. So I think that is an excellent time. 21 is over half of them, I believe, or around half of them. So good job. You did very well. And by the way, great scores in the show, too. 15 and 12 is higher than average for most of these scores. So you guys did very, very well
All
in the
right,
show. And I am very
I
proud
hope
of
we
you.
didn't
I have a
embarrass you too
quiz.
much.
I have a quiz for the chat room.
A quiz for chat? All right, cool.
And then we'll explain what this picture is. What
Okay.
T-shirt is Tracy wearing in this picture?
I'll blow it up so you guys can see. Oh, that's going to be really small on people's screens. Let me blow up so you can see
Actually,
the
I
logo.
can say what it is, but I don't know if they'll know what it is.
Oop, wait.
That's a deep cut. That is a deep cut.
Well, it's not really comics.
Who
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, so
comics.
I'm not.
whoever
like,
gets it
insulting
wins
everybody.
a prize.
Not for me. They don't.
All right. Is anybody
Dad.
guessing?
a genuine Marvel note. No one has guessed it yet. I don't think people are going to. That is an obscure logo.
Can I say
right
what
there.
show it was from?
Because they don't watch linear TV.
It was from a show
And people are saying,
called Timeless.
Yes, that is not a comics reference, but yes, it is a. People are saying the logo Mason, but Mason Industries is from a TV show called Timeless.
And it was
if
so
anyone knows what that
good.
is.
It was
And what's
so
the context?
good.
What's the context of the picture, Matthew?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Come
It's very
on.
small. It's very small. Let me pull up the Skype. You're gonna put me on blast now? I guess I've been putting you on blast for the last hour and a half. I think the black and white is throwing me off.
I actually am not sure either. Is it the storm shelter?
Nope.
We got a storm shelter. I can't see it very well. It's too small. That's why we don't know.
It is Cindy's restaurant next to UTD.
Okay. I don't talk too often about where I went to college on here, but everyone knows I live in the Plano area. But yeah, there was a restaurant that we went to a couple times when I was in college. Thank goodness I am not in college anymore. But thank you guys so much for coming on the show.
That was a lot of fun,
I really
Matthew.
enjoyed this episode. I thought this was a very, 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 very fun one. So thank you so much for coming on. Congratulations to both of you.
fun.
You both did very well. Mom, you said throughout the whole episode that you thought Dad was going to win, and then you won. How do you feel?
I'm really excited. I still feel like I really embarrassed myself a lot. So I'm so sorry,
You
chat,
got seven.
but-
You got better than the majority of contestants in this show as a
Well,
whole.
I do not want to go up against them.
Identify the
What
picture,
you
Matthew.
probably statistically win. That one's also Disneyland. I know because my hair's in a ponytail, and I rarely do that anymore, so I can recognize that trip. Anyway, let me think really quick. I do very brief. Yeah, you guys can stay on the call. I'll talk to you in just a minute. But for chat, I very briefly have a couple of announcements for you guys. First off, let's talk about Canon Clash. This was the season finale of Canon Clash, so we're going to take a couple weeks off of this. It is going to come back at some point, but with D and Dorks having a season break, it just kind of fit to do this sort of season break here now. So updates to come on when Canon Clash will return. When I know D and Dorks is the priority, so we're getting some sort of that stuff worked out first, and then Canon Clash will resume at some point after D and Dorks has restarted. So look for updates on that. As for D and Dorks, we have some updates in quotes. The Marvel special this Friday, the 28th, is still planned to be on. If you were at the finale of Symmetry yesterday, you heard this. I still don't have the book in hand. I'm really hoping it comes like Monday or Tuesday, but we need to do character creation beforehand, so I'm really hoping that still happens, but we will see. Once again, updates to follow. I'm going to try my best to make that work. We'll do it at some point, but the schedule might have to change thanks to reasons that I don't, have any control over at the moment. As for D and Dorks, the week after that, we are not having an episode. That is going to be our mid-season break. We might have 2 weeks of mid-season break depending on the Marvel thing. But regardless, August 4th, there will not be an episode. But then, August 11th, we are starting the 8-episode limited series, Outlaws of the Seven, which is going to be DM'd by Panda. It is his first time DMing. I'm sure if you've seen the finale, I'm not going to talk about spoilers on this for anyone who hasn't, but you're probably much more excited for Outlaws of the Seven after having seen the finale. And I'm really excited for it. It's going to be cool. So tune into that on August 11th. Like I said, there will be plenty of announcements and things like that. Otherwise, streams are going to be on pretty much as usual. I do hope to see you at future ones. Thank you one more time to my parents for joining us on Canon Clash and everybody in chat.
We're looking for
Have a
fun
great
pictures
rest
to
of your
show.
weekend.
Okay, here will be my last
Yeah.
one. You
I
and
got one
Tristan.
too.
If you send me pictures and I greenlight them, I will put them in my Discord after the fact so people can see the rest of them.
We're
that you
such
want to show.
nerds,
So
but this
thank
has
you
been
again for
fun.
being here.
We love
What's
you.
this one?
And I will see you all in